Rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z.
Action.
I like girls. Girls. Ain't that that's a hit.
Man.
Blueprint 2, Blueprint 1 is a classic. It's one of the best rap albums of all time. Jay-Z, one of the best rappers of all time. And all of a sudden, when it starts to rain, it starts to pour, and all of our greats, they get tapped on the shoulder. Said, "Look out, billionaire! I need to talk to you about this 13-year-old. What happened?
You can't stop the rain from falling."
It's on them. It's on them right now. I don't have, like, it's an accusation. I don't know what this man did. I wasn't there, but I can tell you that everything looks funny.
It looks odd. I mean, it's looked odd for a while. Look, let's be honest. We've always heard some type of oddness around Jay-Z as far as like Aaliyah
Why
goes.
we being so kind to him, man? We said odd.
Well, because I don't listen. This is what I mean by odd. I'm not messing with no underage woman. Me personally, as a grown man, at 28, 25, I'm not messing with nobody 16. I'm not messing with nobody 17. Like, I'm gonna be honest. These guys, they mess with young girls. They've had a history of doing this, or it's been a satellite around them. So when I talk about oddness, I'm not like, oh, it's odd, and like I'm trying to like spare them. Like, nah, we know that, hey, when he got with Beyonce, yeah, they say she was of age, but she was like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old girl. I'm just being honest. Like me, at 28, 29, I don't want to take an 18-year-old girl serious. So when I say
why not though? Why not? For what reason? What's the difference between an 18-year-old girl and a 28-year-old woman?
I think it's too young.
What's young about her?
Well, that's just my preference.
I mean, I'm asking a question. I want to know. You say preference. That's the thing right now. Everyone, they say preference.
It's a child. To me, at a certain age, for me as a grown man, I want to be with a grown woman. 25, cool. It would 20 early 20s. If I'm in my 20s, is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like 18, senior in high school, like that's just young. And the older I get, I see how young it is. I have an 18-year-old daughter, so that's me. Yes, your granddaddy had a 17-year-old. Look, my granddaddy was 13 years older than my grandma. She was 17 when they met. This is not new. I'm not judging anyone who's doing this. It happens all the time. A lot of folks
are going to say the time period matters. Does the time period matter?
I don't think so, because we still are. Remember, Paleolithic brain, modern times. It hasn't changed that much since that era. So these bodies have been this way for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So I don't think so at all.
I know it doesn't make anybody feel good, but these young women have the physical ability to engage in sexual activity. This young person who said that she wanted to go see Jay-Z, she's accused him of some type of misconduct.
Right.
Very heinous misconduct.
Yes.
But when the story goes that she was 13 years old, she wanted to go to the MTV Awards. Somehow she went by herself. And when she got there, she was approached by someone who was part of Diddy's team. This is all alleged. And then they said, I can get you to Diddy. And Diddy said, I can't get you into the MTV Awards, but I can take you to the after party. Now, when all this is happening, I don't think the driver, I don't think Diddy, I don't think anyone is looking at this person and saying, this is a little child. Hey, where's your mommy? Where's your daddy? You need to go home. And I think that she went up there with the intent to deceive people, fool people, and to do what she wanted to do. And so when it comes to a young man who's 13, 14 years old, I was incarcerated with young men who was 14 years old being charged as an adult for their actions. And I'm just asking, when does female accountability begin?
It don't.
Never. Ever.
There is no accountability for women in any situation or female. There is no accountability for it at all.
Oh my gosh. Don't you ever victim blame. Don't victim blame.
That's what they're going to say. That's what they're going to say. Because let's be honest. Okay, so I think we were talking about this earlier. Let's get into the mindset of a 13-year-old. Let's get into the mindset of someone that's 13. And you said something very key. In this neighborhood, if we go to the bus stop, we can show you what 13 looks like. We can show you active teenagers that are active. You know what I mean by that? In middle school. Dog,
I can show you a 13-year-old with a baby.
Come on, man. So that's what I'm saying. It's like,
I see them all day long pushing strollers with a baby on the hip, 13 years old.
We're past puberty. We know what's happening. So these kids are active. So to think that a 13-year-old necessarily has to be coerced into this activity is I don't think you're being very real. Now, on the flip of this, to have adults, I mean, look.
Hey, when women get candid, as soon as they get to that age, when they hit puberty, they say that thing be itching, huh? You think you be in the restroom, man? A young girl was telling me, a woman, she said, as a girl, man, she be in that restroom flicking that bean, boy. I'm like, you was 12 years old, wearing that thing out, huh?
Hey, man.
It never crossed my mind that they had the same urges. And I'm like, oh, they human too.
If you talk to women, you will hear this. He is not wrong. Okay, so this is
But
an
the same
education piece.
mouth, they gonna say, but I wasn't fully, I couldn't what's that, consent. I couldn't consent. 13-year-old can't consent. I'm like, wait a minute.
Okay, here's something else too, because I want to lead up to the party. We ain't at the party yet. I want to walk to the party with this 13-year-old. I want to get through this. Okay, so you've put the makeup on, like I said, you put the makeup on. You've put something on that would be considered probably adult or sexy. Men at the party are not trying to get you into the after party if you're not looking this way.
If we're gonna start before the party, we're gonna start to God. I know that she looked in that mirror and she saw them ta-ta-tas. I know she looked in that mirror and she saw them hips. She already knew she had the physical assets to show up.
Do you think that she did? Do you think there are 13-year-olds that you can't look at and say, hey, that's a 13-year-old girl?
Yes, 1,000%. I told you. Around here right now, you see these girls, man, the difference between a 13-year-old girl and an 18-year-old girl is not that different. It's not that different.
So she's getting dressed, she's doing this. So where's her parents? They're probably not around, or they just don't care what she's about to do. She gets to this party. Well, she goes to the award show.
Right.
Now, once she gets to the award show, now what's happening at the award show?
Man, you're acting like she's out there hustling cat. That's what she's doing. She's making herself look seductive enough to get somebody's attention. She's trying. This is premeditated.
Right.
She thought this out. The game plan was to go and get some D.
So there are several adults that could have caught. I'm trying to paint the entire picture so we can see, like, hey, there's a lot happening right now before this young lady, because we were talking about accountability, before this young lady even gets to the final end result, right? Okay, so there are people that have obviously seen her. She's gotten out of the award show, and now what happens? Now she's at the Diddy stage.
Like, so they go. She doesn't go to the award show.
Okay.
They go to the after party, whatever. She says they go to the after party. She starts drinking. After she starts drinking, she wants to go lay down. She goes to lay down. She wakes up, and there's 3 people in the room, 2 of which are Puff Daddy and Sean Carter, known as Jay-Z.
And then there's also a woman in the room, correct?
And there's a woman in the room, a third person, unnamed, and the person says they take turns, each watches, and one finishes to completion. This is all alleged. It's a very interesting story, and so when you start to just get to the details, all that stuff that happens. What do people do when they go to a party and start drinking? So, like, it's pretty much understood until you want to play the game and say, but I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what was going on. I want to get to the place where, so she wakes up and she says she like runs away, clothes hanging, all types of stuff, you know what I'm saying, disheveled. She runs down the street. I don't know how she knows where she is. Maybe she's a citizen of this place, wherever the award show was at. She runs until she finds a convenience store. She calls her dad. Her dad comes to pick her up. And now when your dad comes to pick you up, if you look disheveled, if you're out and you're not supposed to be out, I got 1,000 questions as a parent. Like, where were you? Who were you with? How'd you get here? Girl, what was you thinking about?
And why are we not filing a complaint? I think that if I pick up, because, okay, this is what I'm saying. We're gonna try to get through all this, but I have to say this. I don't like the retroactive complaints.
But what if in that moment, if her father takes her to the hospital and she says Jay-Z and Sean Combs and Sean Carter, Sean doing the nasty, they some freaky ass boy, you a freaky ass boy, freaky ass boy, you a freaky ass boy.
69 guys.
Boy, nigga,
ah, man.
These are some freaky men to be getting busy in the room. I don't want to get busy in the room with you, bro. I don't want to get busy in the room with you. God,
thank you. I'm
man.
not pulling out my clothes with another man in the room.
I don't even want to take turns with the same girl. All this stuff is crazy.
Dog,
like if you told me that you smashed on a chick, I'm like, okay, that's his chick.
Yeah.
That's not my chick.
No.
Hey, you smashed my boy, and you trying to pull some hoe tactics right now. I'm not with these fantastic hoe tactics. You better leave me. Take your hot.
And they'll do that
on.
because I didn't have a chick give me some, and I find out later she might have been one of my homies, or you know, or she was already with me, and then she backdoors and go hit it. You know, I don't pillow talk like that, but it's like, you know, okay, like nah, I don't care who you been with, but I'm not sharing.
As long as you don't give no distinctive who the person is. it hints who the person is. Ain't no pillow talking. It's just a story of a person.
Hey,
that
let's
one
be
time.
for sure. Let's be honest though. With what we now know about Diddy, with what we now know, because there's some things that we do know. There's a lot of
Everything is still
accusations.
alleged. Everything is still alleged. And now,
Even on all that, it sounds plausible.
If you
Is it not plausible?
let's go. I want to go back to the hospital with this. Like,
Okay,
if the
yeah.
girl was
Let's
to
go
go
back.
to the hospital, if she says Sean Combs, if she says Sean Carter, police are coming, they're getting arrested, and it's a spectacle of a lifetime.
Right.
And as a father, man, you're not finna go to sleep until you ain't finna take a bath until you tell me who you was with and what happened to you.
Right.
And as soon as you tell me what happened, if I can't get them, we finna get them.
Right.
We finna get them. And now when none of these things transpire, am I supposed to just sit there and assume your mama ain't nothing, your daddy ain't nothing, your
Right.
whole family system ain't nothing? Huh?
Right.
That they just raised a little hussy to run the streets and go give that coup de cat and then wait 20 years to chase $1? Is this what we're doing right now?
I think that's exactly what's happening, because we've seen in all these situations where we had underage allegations, even with stars, that they have been around adults, competent adults who should have been held accountable. We were talking about Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore was at parties when she was 9. She had a drug addiction at 12. Were there any adults around her held accountable? This lady was in like a drug abuse program at 12 or 13 years old. So I think that this has been a part of high society. This has been a part of Hollywood for a very long time.
You know what? I thought about that. I thought it was going to say that it's an industry thing. No. I just think there's a human thing that once that cat gets hot and you figure out that you got a cat, it's a transition going through puberty. And all of a sudden, like one day you don't feel nothing, and all of a sudden the water's running. You're like, wait, what is that? And what is that? Man, I remember I was probably like 11, 12 years old, and I think I was using the restroom, and I just tugged it, and I said, well, what the hell? and that's something bitch say, hello. I said, Woody.
Hey, look, I'm going to say this. I'm a Jay-Z fan. I love Jay-Z. I don't deitize any star. If any one of these guys are truly guilty for what they've done, then may the justice system come at them at the fullest extent. But I will say this with Jay-Z. You know, there has been underage satellite allegations around him to a degree for a long time. I mean, we think about Foxy Brown. There's been some kind of like alleged Foxy Brown, between here and there.
Ambitious people, male or female, because like women, I need you to engage in this conversation with me, because you can't play both sides of the fence. If you tell me that you're equal, then you have equal ambitions. And I know that as a 13-year-old boy, I want to go do some mischievous things. Can you please tell me that as a 13-year-old girl, you didn't attempt to do mischievous things? And now if we have a legal system that rewards you for lying because you don't want to get punished, if there's a scapegoat and the scapegoat is men, then that's a problem. That's a problem. If every time a white woman is sitting inside of a convenience store and a black boy walks in and says you fine and whistles, and all she can say is, and then all of a sudden he gets lynched, and a whole bunch of men are being persecuted and prosecuted because of a consensual thing, and then the law comes in, the law says, well, by the law, this was wrong, and you're like, by the law, shouldn't she be punished? Like, who's going to hold her accountable for even being in my presence? I'm 30. Why is she here?
And you said the biggest thing. This is for a time where y'all have to get involved in the conversation. Like right here, right now in the comments. Everybody get right now in the comments and have honest conversation about this. Because if we are setting the statute, if we're saying the standard is you can do this, women can just go out here and just say whatever, whenever, and get money, I think that's definitely a problem. I think that's a problem, especially because when do we say, hey, you should know right from wrong, you should know where you need to be. You cannot use your age as an excuse when you know right from wrong. When you're past 12, 13, look, 13 years old, you know where you're supposed to be. You know you're not supposed to be out here with adults.
We have what I think it's called cognitive dissonance, how we can separate ourselves from what's really happening. I think if we're to be honest that about female sexuality, women have the capacity to engage in sexual relationships from the time they hit puberty, and they do so liberally. And then
recklessly.
However you want to put it. They say my body, my choice. So if it starts at your body, your choice, then how are you going to blame me for something that you gave to me? And if I ain't strong on you, if I ain't take it from you, if I ain't coerce you, then please, like, stop saying that someone did something wrong, but we're legislating the female emotion. And I told my friend, I said, the female emotion, once you start listening to women's emotions, it's like the road to hell. It's deep, dark, and it's abyss. Because when you start listening, all of a sudden their feelings become reality.
But I have said this, and this has been my stance. You can go on other episodes and check it out. It's all on this channel. Hey, you still need men. You still need men to be protectors. There have to be men in the room that says, no, we're not doing that. You can't do that. There has to be.
Explain to me how I protect a woman's coochie.
If I see young women and, hey, how old are the girls? They got, listen, bro. Okay, let's just take me. I'll fuck this Diddy shit. If I'm in the party, it's young hoes there, they gotta go. Like, we ain't doing this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm gonna leave. Like, you gotta know that it's gonna bring trouble.
You're saying this. You're in the music industry.
Right.
All right. So now you're at a party of an executive and you see young girls at the executive's party. All of a sudden, they're going to ask you to leave.
I'm a dip.
And then once you dip,
I got to dip.
Now your relationships are severed. You ain't invited to the parties no more.
Facts.
And it's a financial impact on me trying to do the right thing for some girls who want to be here.
So let me ask you a question.
What's up?
What do I do? I'm a rapper. I'm here. I know that if I say something, the ties are going to be severed, but what do I do? Do I stand up for the right thing?
So I was in that situation. So when you say I was in that situation when we were in the military, I didn't know that they would invite. They told me we're having a party. I had never been to their parties before. So I went to the party. When I get there, it's a bunch of dudes, a bunch of beer, a bunch of alcohol. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, where are the women at? Where are the women at? They're like, they're coming, bro. Hours go by. One woman shows up, the brand new girl to the division. And so now when I see what the play is, I'm like, oh. So I go to her and I say, look, you don't want to be here. No one else is coming. You're the party. I'm about to leave. You can leave with me. She says, I'm fine. I'm going to stay. When I see her again, she got that look on her face of the person who got violated, the long, sad puppy dog face. And she ain't say what happened, but the people told me what happened. They told me how they did all the things and they took turns and how it was 2 women and probably 12 men. And all she could say is, I wish I would have left with you. That's all she could say. And now what was I supposed to do? I was supposed to fight everybody in the party? Y'all get off of her. She made a decision.
Hey, this is true. I'm going to tell you something else too. I think what we're really trying to say here too is, if you want so much equality, you have to have equality in decision making. And if you don't have that, then you need to find some wise counsel. Because as a woman, you should have left with this dude. There's a lot of situations women get themselves into, and they don't want to listen to anybody because they want to do what they want to do. They have all the control. It's their choice. And then they find themselves in these egregious, screwed up situations that they, guess what? 20 years later, they want to have a lawsuit on. And I'm pretty sure there were warning signs and flags before that young lady got to that after party to say, you shouldn't be here. That happens a lot. But just for the sake of freedom, just for the sake of saying that you can do something, doesn't mean that you should be doing it. So to your point, because I actually had a conversation with a friend of mine a couple days ago about this very same thing. It's like, okay, how can I protect all women? I can't fight 50 guys to protect all women.
For a woman to even have that in her mind is the most destructive thought in the world, because you need to protect yourself. You need to be situationally aware everywhere you go. You need to protect yourself. If you think that you're just going to talk to anyone however you want, that's on you. Good luck with that. I'm moving away from
Is this the last? And when I mean like, is this the last of this? What I'm saying is this the final era of the Me Too movement, or does it continue?
Because most men are feminized. Like, they believe that women are physically, emotionally equal, and they will not take a second to even think about the differences between genders. And so since we're at this place where we want to play pretend, then they're pretending and everybody's pretending. If we want to talk about Jay-Z specifically, he's cooked.
I was just gonna ask you. Hey, that was gonna be my next question. All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes.
He's done, son.
Is Jay-Z done?
He's done, son.
So you mean I gotta get rid of Jay-Z off my playlist?
So what I'm saying is, if there is a shred of evidence that this happened, number one, this 13-year-old girl, she's just a 13-year-old girl, but there's gonna be 50 women that show up and say, this happened, and they're gonna have time and dates and pictures. Because now once you open up the floodgates, they're coming. And Tony Busby, he had a hotline for Diddy. He's going to have a 1-800-HOVE line.
Hey, man.
1-800-HOVE.
Tony Busby is funny. Tony Busby had a campaign party next door to my mom's house when he was running for mayor. We went over there. He's a funny guy, dog.
Is that, hey, I'll tell you what.
But hey, It don't seem like he missing with these cases.
He's not playing with his paperwork.
He ain't playing, dog.
He's not playing with his paperwork.
He is a lawyer. He's been a lawyer in here in Houston for years. I really, you know what, to be honest, I hadn't heard, even though, okay, so Jay-Z puts out this letter saying that, hey, I'm innocent. If you think I'm really guilty, file a criminal lawsuit. First off, it's 20-some years later. Filing a criminal lawsuit on Jay-Z is going to be pretty difficult. But then he refers to Tony Busby as an ambulance chaser. I will say this. Have you really heard any like ambulance chasing stories from Tony Busby outside of what he's been doing with these stars? Because it seemed like some of the cases be legit.
I'm gonna say this: this man is he is a powerful person in Houston. He ran for office. He be moving and shaking. And so, for anyone who wants to try to attack his credibility, I'm from Houston, Texas. I want you to know this is a serious man.
Yeah,
I want you to know these allegations are very serious.
Right.
Jay-Z don't respond to nothing. His publicist, he don't respond to anything. There's been allegations of him doing lots of things for a long period of time, and he's never said anything. And this is so hot that he had to come. He's finna lose money. You're going to see him start to, people are going to pull away from him publicly. It doesn't matter if he did it. It doesn't matter. Time and place. I like girls, 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 girls. I do adore.
Jay-Z, you should have put Lil Wayne on the Super Bowl. And had you done that, you would not be in this situation. But you chose to go with, they not like us. They not like us.
Jay-Z, you shouldn't have crossed Dame Dash.
No.
Jay-Z, you shouldn't have done a lot of things. And right now, the chickens have come home to roost.
Hey, man, I really think that we're going to see more of this. Hey, look, I don't think it stops here. Let me give you my prediction. This is the Prophetic Podcast. We have been saying a lot of things. You got to go see what we've said because we predicted things over and over again. Just go look at the episodes. So I'm going to say this. It doesn't stop with Jay-Z. I want y'all to know it's not stopping here. It's going to continue.
Drake!
No.
Drake!
Well, you know he's got another situation.
Man,
because they say that XXXTentacion, Triple X-Tentacion, they saying that he knocked him off.
Hey, he shouldn't have made songs insinuating that he did. It's up.
I gotta go listen to
for all you big dick deviant niggas, it's up. For all you rich niggas, it's up.
Cat Williams said this. Are we seeing the elite crumble?
We're seeing it's a fight for power right now, but it's really just a money grab. I'm going to tell every working class man, if you don't join the 10 million man march, you could be next. It doesn't matter if you did it. It doesn't matter if you weren't even there. As long as she says it, then all of a sudden you get the public accusation, the public stain. And the only way we can fight back is to tell the truth, man.
Because the truth makes you the greatest American alive.
The greatest American alive.
The greatest American alive. The greatest American alive. The greatest American alive. The greatest American alive. The greatest American alive.